gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shutdown? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
They were frantically trying to get out and get to safety, but the clerk didn't unlock the door. New video shows the terrifying moments before 3 people were shot inside a Detroit gas station. Police say the argument between a customer and a gas station clerk led him to shoot 3 random customers. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. The argument was allegedly over $4. And as it escalated, the clerk hit a button locking the doors, but that left 3 other customers with no way out. And shortly after, bullets were flying, leaving 1 person dead, 2 others wounded. Sean Lay, the big question here is whether the clerk bears any kind of responsibility.
Good evening, Devin. That clerk has not been arrested. The clerk has not been charged, but we can only show you just a little bit of this video from inside the gas station. It is just so difficult to watch. There was nowhere for 3 customers to go. They were trapped when that clerk locked the door, locking them in with the gunman. We asked a legal expert about the clerk's actions.
So it looks like the clerk may have, his thought process may have been to lock these guys in and call the police. Now, do you want to lock 2 or a few super gremlins and back them into a corner and lock them in the store, a convenience store? I mean, that's not my train of thought, but oh man, I mean, I don't blame them for being scared, but to lock them in with you is not the move that I would have made.
Apart from the legal component, I'm just going to tell you, it's also just so inhumane. I mean, apart from just the legal aspect, it's just inhumane.
Local 4 legal analyst Neil Rockine reacting to the deadly shooting that took place inside this West Side gas station May 6th. Prosecutors say the clerk, behind protective glass, argued with the man over $4 worth of items. The clerk has the ability to lock the store's door, and he did. Police.
Okay, so it looks like the guy was probably going to walk out with $4 worth of items. So these guys are not no punks, man. They're not about to get punked by these super thugging gremlins on demon time. They're not about to get punked. So yeah, you're not finna walk out with my $4 of product. I have no problem with that.
Say the man arguing with the clerk is Anthony McCray. McCray was locked inside the store with 3 innocent customers. Prosecutors say McCray makes it clear that if the clerk does not unlock the door, he will shoot the 3 innocent customers. We can only show you a moment of the chilling security camera video.
Wow. So his solution was, oh, if you don't unlock the door, I'm going to steal $4 worth of merch. And this lawyer, whoever that guy, the liberal white guy in the suit, whoever he is, he's trying to say, oh, it's so inhumane. It's inhumane. I mean, the dude is trying to steal, and I guess he called his bluff, honestly. I think the clerk called his bluff. And he's like, hey, if you shoot them, you're going to jail. So be my guest. And maybe that's not the right thing to do. But I understand now better why the clerk did what he did, because he's tired of getting punked. He's tired of these super gremlins coming up here and stealing. Now, did he genuinely think the guy was just gonna pull out and bust at these innocent customers? He probably didn't think that he'd actually do it, but man, I mean, what do you guys think? What would you have done? Honestly, the clerk should not be charged at all. And they're trying to bring charges on the clerk. It's crazy.
Of the customers begging that clerk to let them out. The door remains locked. The 3 customers are shot. One, 37-year-old Gregory Kelly, is killed. McCray is charged with murder and attempted murder.
Wow. And he don't care neither. Look how his head cocked to the side. He got his mask on and he just like, whatever. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Clerk be arrested and charged.
Lock those people in as they're begging to get out, lock them in with something that he knew or should have known was life-threatening. And as it turns out, it was. That clerk...
With something or someone? I mean, I don't know who this guy is, but man, at the end of the day, it's just like, bro, you can't charge the clerk. He was trying not to get robbed, and his first response is call the police. I'm gonna lock you in here. When the police come up, but the thing is, the super gremlin shot those people because he probably already had warrants. He probably, you know, already was on papers, didn't want to violate his probation, or you know, he doesn't care about violating his probation, but he doesn't want to get caught violating his probation. And, you know, there you have it.
Clerk's got real liability, potentially in criminal court, but also in civil court. They're banging on the door to let them out. Yeah, it's unconscionable.
All right, back here live again. The video is so disturbing, but all three men, the innocent customers, are at the glass at the register asking the clerk to let them out. The gunman is right there. Eventually, the gunman opens fire at point-blank range. Really difficult stuff here. But again, the clerk is not charged, has not been arrested. We asked police specifically about the clerk. They said everything remains under investigation. Devin, I asked the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. They're expecting a warrant focused on the clerk. They haven't got back to us. I'll let you know when they do. Back to you.
Well, there is so much to this, Sean. And you talked with one of the customers who was shot. In fact, shot 3 times, but survived it.
Shot 3 times. Right next to him, his best friend, gunned down. It's absolutely brutal. Of course, he blames the gunman, but tonight he also blames that clerk.
Yeah. All right, Sean.
Story tonight, we're getting our other top story tonight. We're getting our first look at the man charged in that deadly triple shooting inside a gas station in Detroit. We thank you for being with us here. I'm Kim.
And that's almost a mass shooting. Almost a mass shooting.
Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. 27-year-old Anthony McCray facing charges of first-degree murder and assault with intent to murder after prosecutors say he opened fire on random customers during a dispute with a clerk. Sean Lay, live with more on this story. He does have a lengthy criminal history, Sean.
Devin, including felony gun crimes in his past, and he should never have had a gun in the first place. But follow me this way, because
so that just shows you that the gun laws don't work. He had felony gun charges. He shouldn't have had a gun in the first place, but criminals don't care about the laws, so they're gonna carry firearms, even if they're not supposed to.
everything happened inside here. Prosecutors today revealing that the clerk was arguing with this alleged gunman on the other side of the protective glass here. There's 3 customers in here, and from behind the glass, the clerk is able to flip a switch and lock these doors, turning this place into a death trap. One of the men shot and...
So the clerk didn't turn it into a death trap. That super gremlin on demon time turned it into a death trap. Whether they could have got out or not, he was going to start firing off. I mean, this dude is a bum. This dude is dusty. And people will really get on my case about exposing this type of stuff. But this is a lot of brothers out here who are hanging out at the damn gas station. He probably posted up at the gas station for a long time before he went in there and got his car declined. I mean, I just don't get it. And then this will be the same guy with an Instagram handle talking about some rich bands Vaughn or some shit like that. Excuse my French.
Survived. I spoke to him this afternoon.
Yeah, I was shot in the hand, I was shot in my side, and I got shot in the back. So he shot me 3 times.
That is the voice of one of 3 gas station customers. Not only shot 3 times, police say, by accused gunman Samuel McCray, but he was also trapped inside the shop with that gunman by the gas station clerk. He does not want to be identified, concerned for his safety. When that clerk refused to let the 3 customers in harm's way out of the gas station, he turned to the gunman and pleaded for their lives.
And I say the same thing, like, man, we don't got nothing to do with this, unlock the door. And the dude say, if you don't unlock the door, I'm gonna shoot everybody in here. I turn around and look at him and say, please, man, don't shoot us. We don't got nothing to do with this. I turned around and looked at him. He had the gun in the back of my head, and I put my hand up, and he shot my hand. And I ran from him, then he grazed my side. And then when he shot me the third time, that's when I failed and I had to play dead.
That gunman shot another customer trapped with them and shot and killed 37-year-old Gregory Kelly. McCray was arraigned today, where prosecutors say the clerk thought McCray was going to walk off with $4 worth of items. With a switch behind the counter, the clerk blocked the door, and prosecutors say the clerk turned up the heat by arguing with the gunman.
And I mean, what do you expect these clerks to do, though? Just let them walk off with the merchandise? This isn't the only time that these super gremlins are coming up to the corner store and stealing. These business owners, who are usually immigrants, are bleeding. And nothing is stopping them from, you know, or protecting them from these super gremlins on demon time.
After shooting the 3 customers by emptying his handgun, only then did the clerk behind the protective glass unlock the door, letting the gunman get away.
After he shot all of us, then he unlocked the door.
Remarkable. It's amazing he survived. McCray held without bond right now. Big yellow sticker here. It's from the city. This place operating without a license. It's shut down right now. We asked Detroit police about the clerk here. Now, we know McCray is charged, being held without bond. Does the clerk have any culpability, any liability for endangering lives by locking the door? Police tell me everything remains under investigation. Devin?
Over $4 worth of stuff. Sean,
$4.
Once the door was unlocked, McCray was able to get away, and he ended up being arrested a day later. So how did he get away from the scene there?
Yeah, the door's finally unlocked. You've got 3 shooting victims in there. You've got a clerk safe behind the glass. He is able to just walk out. Devin, it's remarkable. His mom was parked right here, waiting for him, and drove him away.
Wow. All right, Sean.
As Camille, just terrifying moments to talk about here.
Yeah, an absolutely horrific situation for these customers. I mean, imagine you're going in to maybe buy a pack of cigarettes or a pack of gum or whatever, and suddenly you find yourself locked inside and you can't get out, and the gas station attendant is not letting you out until it's too late. Take a listen.
I think he should be charged. I really do.
Again.
Bruh, they're more worried about the gas station clerk. They're spending more time on this clerk than on the super gremlin that did this. It's absolutely insane.
Gas station clerk is now being charged in connection with a triple shooting at a Detroit gas station on May 6th. Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy says Al Hassan Aish played a role in the shooting death of an innocent customer because he pushed an automatic security button locking the doors. It happened at this mobile on McNichols near the lodge. Customers trapped inside with the gunman upset about his $4 purchase being declined. Police say Samuel McCray shot all 3 of them. Gregory Kelly died at the scene. The other 2 men survived.
Minding your own business, you come into a business and you get shot. I mean, what kind of system would that make?
Meanwhile, the store clerk, just 22 years old, was not in harm's way.
He was behind the bulletproof. He should have never locked the door.
Aish is being charged with involuntary manslaughter. Investigators say he eventually pushed a security button to unlock the doors.
So they're charging him with involuntary manslaughter for this almost mass shooting. Guys, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, bro. Because the guy, I think the clerk, he was just calling Buddy's bluff. And that's probably what they're trained to do at those gas stations. Somebody don't want to pay you, lock them in there, call the police. Because if he didn't call the police, then that's a mistake. But he should have called the police immediately when the guy refused to pay.
But failed to tell the customers. They say that was just seconds before McCray started shooting. So I can tell you right now that the gas station remains closed. Police closed it down the day of the shooting. Actually happened in the middle of the night, so later that day they closed it down because it was an unauthorized business, not licensed, nothing to do with the shooting, but it still remains closed to this day. And again, this suspect expected to be formally charged, and we'll get a first look at him tomorrow morning. Reporting live, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, sadly, in Detroit and many other big cities, gas station parking lots or the station's outdoors are considered the danger zones. Here, you don't imagine that someone would be trapped inside with a gunman, making that the worst place to be.
Yeah, and it really makes you think, too, that, you know, this was an argument between the store clerk and the guy who wanted the stuff, even though he couldn't pay for it. He was declined. So he tried to leave with that stuff. And then, of course, he hits that button like you can't get out. But then things escalate. And then you see that these people are trapped inside and they can't get out. And then he hits the button, but he doesn't tell them. I mean, it's a horrible scenario. It's just something that none of us imagined that we would ever be a part of. Our heart goes out to everybody involved in this.
Unimaginable terror inside and such a sad loss at the same time. Camille Amiri for us live. Thank you.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe, hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all tell me what this is.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more
shit
do
off.
you want from me?
The funeral for Gregory Kelly was held today. Kelly was shot and killed after a store clerk locked him inside a gas station during a dispute with a gunman over $4.
He was one of 3 people who were shot there that day, and now there's a push by the city council and community activists to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
CBS News.
Lord, now here we go, the community activists. These community activists in the community are on the wrong side of almost every issue.
Detroit's Ray Strickland has the story tonight from the very gas station on West McNichols at Gratiot Avenue on Detroit's east side.
I'm highly upset at the blatant disregard for Black life demonstrated and expressed by the clerk. I'm sure that wouldn't have been done.
The blatant disregard for Black life. It's not about, bro, the shooter was black. What about the shooter's blatant disregard for Black life? How do you make this? I mean, it is a race issue, but it's not the one you're looking for. You're barking up the wrong tree here, buddy. Okay? The disregard for Black life. So you have a black man who shoots at 3 other black men, and you're talking about the disregard for Black life. And honestly, we only saw 2 of the guys who got hit. We're not even sure the 3rd guy was a black man. So, and then the clerk is most likely an immigrant. So he's black and brown community, right? If these are our leaders, nothing will be done to fix this issue. And I mean it this time.
In his community, however, he felt compelled to believe that was okay to do it in our community.
Community activist Minister Tafori Brand is calling for charges against the clerk who locked the door to a West McNichols gas station, which allowed a gunman to shoot 3 customers inside.
We're faithful and hopeful that Madam Prosecutor Worthy will do what she always does and do the right thing by the people, the victims, and provide justice for the family by charging this clerk, because he absolutely deserves it.
Brand is...
How about this? No, he doesn't. That's protocol. Somebody steals, you lock him in there, call the police. Did he escalate by going back and forth with this super gremlin? Yeah, but he's young. Isn't that the same excuse we would give these other guys? Oh, well, you know, he's young, so. See, when we do something, there's every excuse in the book to excuse it. But then when this 22-year-old clerk who's trying to do his job, trying to save the business money, and this is how he's being treated. He's being charged for a murder that he did not commit.
Speaking with CBS News Detroit moments after he attended the funeral for Gregory Kelly, Kelly was the only person killed in the gas station shooting.
His son and his daughter, they don't have a father, all because of this clerk's immaturity and lack of training. Had they received the training, that wouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean, to me, it sounds like protocol is if somebody steals, you lock them in there, call the police, because you should be protected.
The shooting happened on May 6th after the clerk locked Kelly and 2 others inside the store during a dispute with Samuel McCray over $4. McCray was arrested and is facing charges for the shooting.
It's absolutely reprehensible.
Community activists like Brent say they're in full support of a proposed ordinance that would ban businesses from locking customers inside their store. Detroit.
When is that law ever going to, I mean, Jesus. So he's no longer a customer when he's not paying for things. Now he is a burglar, a thief, a robber. Like, we take too much pride in getting useless laws passed. It's ridiculous.
Council President Mary Sheffield introduced the proposal during Tuesday's city council meeting. In a statement, Sheffield tells CBS News Detroit, quote, "This entire incident, which involved a dispute over $3, could have
$4, ma'am. Get it right.
been prevented, and it's imperative that safety measures are put in place to ensure this never happens again in the city of Detroit," end quote.
This has to be done.
Brent says this ordinance would be long overdue, but says it's necessary to ensure what happened to Kelly.
Long overdue? Since when did anything ever happen like this? I mean, I've never heard of a story where Super Gremlin steals, Clerk locks him in there, and then in order to get out, he threatens to shoot people, and he actually starts doing it. When will this law ever even be? This is, you know, I don't want to say it's a one-off situation because, you know, these Super Gremlins are going to the corner store and stealing all the time, but this law is useless.
Kelly doesn't happen to someone else.
His children need to understand that he did not die in vain, and that as a result of what happened to him, this and other individuals will be protected from the same kinds of behaviors and acts.
Reporting in Detroit, Ray Strickland, CBS News Detroit.
This is Dave Kinchin. He's working this story for us tonight with more on this proposal. Dave.
Yeah, there's no question this terrible, shocking, atrocious crime has shaken the entire city, the region, and certainly city officials. They have been alarmed by this as well. So community leaders and city officials, they're about to take some action.
Absolutely devastating, right? That this father of 3 beautiful children, 2 beautiful girls, 1 very strong, handsome young boy, was taken away from them foolishly, recklessly, irresponsibly, for absolutely no reason.
Detroit minister and activist Teferi Brent spent the day saying a final goodbye to 37-year-old Gregory Carlos Kelly, who was shot and killed after being locked inside this gas station on the city's west side following a Cinco de Mayo night out with some friends.
We are committed to ensuring that we as community servants and leaders do everything we can to ensure this never ever happens again.
One way he's doing that is by pushing Detroit City Council members to introduce and pass legislation that will close the inside of gas stations to the public from 11 p.m. through the overnight hours.
So now they want to limit the business for gas stations and close it from 11. So the only issue was time. It was dark. That's why he did it. God, I mean, why don't we propose a law to stop letting broke ninjas into the gas station? How about that? You got to have at least $10 to enter the gas station. Like that needs to be the law. Or, you know, you have to swipe your card to enter the gas station, and it has like a $5 holding fee, and then when you exit, it's returned back to you. We need something like that. Not no law that says, oh, I'll close the inside of the gas station at 11 p.m. Dude, come on.
There's no reason for a business to be open. Too much crime, too many things are happening at that time, and they don't have armed guards. Either you make them shut down or you make them hire armed guards to ensure that our citizens are safe.
22-year-old store clerk Al-Hassan Ayash has been charged with involuntary manslaughter in connection to the shooting. Investigators
And the question is, safe from who?
say he locked the victims inside the store before the shots were allegedly fired by 27-year-old Samuel Anthony McCray. The whole incident taking place after an argument over just a few dollars.
Please, man, don't shoot us. We don't got nothing to do with this, man. And my friend said something like, man, he ain't gonna shoot us. Let us up out of here. And he started shooting.
Fox 2 talked with David Langston, who survived after taking gunshots to the back and arm. He was covering his face the whole time. He was in the gas station with his close friend Gregory Kelly, who was murdered that night.
Man, we did not deserve that, man. I asked you nicely, man. Please don't shoot us, bro. And you still did it, man. That hurt.
You know what? You cannot be locking the doors on people.
Wow, all the representatives are talking about the clerk. You can't lock the doors on people. You can. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Nobody has mentioned this super gremlin on Demon Time. It is amazing, the cognitive dissonance. Like they're just overlooking the fact that this man with multiple stacked up charges, for one, probably shouldn't have been out. For two, is violent enough and broke enough to crash out over $4. This is not, I mean, I guess you could say, oh, he did this because of poverty. He was probably embarrassed because his car got declined. Okay, the EBT, his baby mama EBT card ran out. And he was having a hissy fit. But look how they skirt accountability from the super gremlin. It's disgusting.
That's kidnapping. That's false imprisonment.
City Council member at large Mary Waters says she is 100% for that legislation banning workers from locking customers inside businesses ahead of imminent danger.
People were begging, please open the door. He did not do that.
Well, we do know the arraignment for the clerk is set for 10 a.m. tomorrow. Also, we're told from city officials that this legislation will likely take about 3 weeks before it gets into some form that could be voted on. We'll keep following it all. We're live at Detroit Police Headquarters. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, talking about this ordinance, Dave, I mean, sadly, we've heard about these sort of shootings happening inside gas stations in broad daylight. So it'll be interesting to see.
Great point this woman made up. I don't know if these other people are brain dead, but yes, we've heard about these shootings happening in broad daylight, at the crack of dawn, at 11 p.m., at 11 a.m. It doesn't matter what time it is. These super gremlins are on Demon Time.
If having an ordinance like this would make a difference.
Yeah, it's a big question. You know, there's people out there who have even said online that they thought Project Greenlight would actually be a solution to some of this as well, some of the overnight violence and issues at gas stations. So clearly, it's something that police are trying to work on, and it's something that policymakers are trying to put together. So we'll see if this does indeed make a difference. It'll all be in how the language is drafted as well.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.